Hey, it's JC1424 once again with Gran Turismo PSP, and this is going to be another Gran Turismo PSP Hot Lap. In the last episode, we brought the 2003 BMW Z4 to Costa di Amalfi, and in this episode, we're going to Costa di Amalfi with the Mazda 787B race car. This is one of the most demented GT cars ever created, from the sound of the engine to the struggle everyone has controlling its rear ends. Now, they do start you off just before these two hairpin corners, which are no biggie. In my opinion, they're the easiest part of the track, most likely because I've had to start from there so many times. You take the time to realize that the steering is a bit stiff in the front straightaway, and try to avoid hitting the invisible walls, however in the hell you would do that. Memorize your braking point going into the first corner. It's rather important here. Pretty much every turn at the beginning of this track, you want to catch the rear end by stopping your steering completely for a moment. I insist you handle that jump by going to the right and then turning left just before leaving the ground. You can easily overdrive and underdrive this one. Pardon my sexual attraction to that wall. Back up this corner so you can power out, get a good exit. As you head up this hill, learn to briefly hit the brakes before the end while also turning to the left to avoid that outside wall. Stay really close to the inside on this one if you can. Once you've put the car in third, keep it there until the very end of this corner. I do not insist that you remain in the fourth gear throughout this entire portion of the track. The car will be stiff, but you'll get a shitload of agility if you go back down. As you can see, my car is hard to steer right here. If you stay on the gas long enough here, you might just break into a drift, which can lead to hitting the wall. As you can see, I almost did. You will gain a ton of momentum heading down this hill, but be careful not to turn too hard right. While approaching this left hairpin, you can throw the car into a spin. Coming up is the last crucial curve, which I feel is best slowed down while in third gear, even though I almost wrecked it getting back on the gas. And, well, that's about it. Everything else is a piece of cake. And this is where we started, and as I said, these two hairpin corners right here are the easiest on the entire track because you have to go through them so many times starting off the laps. But this is it. My record lap time is 1 minute and 48.087 seconds. Now let's take a look at this from the dynamic camera angles. Thanks for watching this episode of the Gran Turismo PSP Hot Lap. As you can see, there's my record with the Mazda 787B race car at Costa di Amalfi. 1 minute, 48 seconds, and 87 hundredths of a second. I also had the TCS on 5 out of 10, which is something that I haven't had on in well over a year. And I only have it on for like race cars and really fast and powerful cars because they have so much horsepower that I can't control the accelerator due to the PSP not having pressure-sensitive buttons like you would on a PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and any console being made today. All the other driving aids are off with the professional driving physics and no ASM or whatever. Manual transmission as usual, and R3 tires front and back. You know, I really do love this car, but sometimes it can get on my nerves with the back end always kicking out every time I try to leave a corner. It kind of does sound annoying at sometimes. I'll turn down the volume, but I have to hear it just so I can hear myself as I shift through the gears. I love the paint scheme, by the way. It's orange and green in a really fluorescent color. It reminds me of something that Danica Patrick drove when she had GoDaddy as a sponsor in NASCAR. But that's beside the point. Thanks for watching this episode, and see you next time. That's that, and episode over.